Good afternoon to everyone. Yeah, it is here very warm and humid in Langen, central Germany, near Frankfurt. I have read in Hamburg is a little bit drier, but now, nevertheless, I will start first with a rather short self-introduction, and there's an older image. If you compare that later on with a video here, then you will see some differences between my face from 2006 and now today. So I'm married with Hertha since 38 years. And I have also some hobbies, traveling, playing piano, astronomy, then history, especially German history, and I like also games. And here you see some pictures here from different locations of different holiday trips. But I have also to do something to professional work, and presently I'm mainly involved in advanced training, and about 20% of my working time. International cooperation, what I'm doing now, project management or project manager, and the e-learning. And since about 15 years, I'm the head of the examination board for diploma of the University of Applied Science, and also the dean since 2016 and deputy chief of the training center. And on 1st of February next year, I will go into retirement. So I have a little bit more than 7 months working time left. So what is the plan for today? It will be between 30 and 45 minutes. I will keep the time. It was rather interesting you're doing this time period. What you can see is the unusual weather on the Azores, Madeira, and also a little bit to the Canarian Islands. I will go through this. Then there are different tropical cyclones around the globe, but I have considered here this time period for the B part. Do not be afraid. I will not go into the detail, but it's an entire time period, and I will go relatively fast through it. The main weight will be upon the present situation. Central Europe, mainly severe summer convection. I have read already that in southern Germany, severe thunderstorms happened this morning. And but at the beginning, I received the hint from Dominic from the summer school that dust is near Italy. I did not see this. I was concentrated upon the summer convection, but I will take a little bit time for this. And I have also received from Dominic 2 photos. And so thank you very much for this. And we'll go through the weather situation. And then also a little bit, about the ingredient method, but also satellite products will be used, of course, however, in relation to other sources. And then I try a short range forecast, especially till Friday with the ensemble prediction system. I will hope I come through. So therefore, I would like to start with the first part with the weather situation in Madeira, Azores, and then also Canadian Islands. I have here marked the different positions. The islands are very difficult to see. Here are the Azores, more or less. Here is Madeira. You can see it. Here's Portugal, Spain, France, and here in green are the Canarian Islands. So it is unusual situation because here we have a low system, rather big, and normally we have the high pressure system near the Azores, but here the very unstable situation and already existing since several weeks. And so I thought it could be rather interesting to consider this briefly. So the development is here we have in green more or less as a geopotential in 300 hectopascal, and the surface pressure taken from the model, the icon model from the Deutscher Wetterdienst. And you can see that the surface low is more or less at a similar position for a longer time. There is a trough developing. Here's Madeira, so also a lot of rain happened, and so it was not cooler, about 20 degrees, but very changeable. You will see afterwards also something about the gusts. And I considered that the airport of Madeira is not so easy. Here's a longer runway in the meanwhile, but the wind shear and is rather difficult to handle for the pilots. I saw that by myself doing the landing mid of April. It was possible, but it was turbulent. What my wife and me had to, see there. So that is, then it became better from Wednesday onwards. And so then I combined the geopotential in 300 hectopascal with the infrared image 10.8 enhanced. The color table can be seen here. That is a legend, what we are mainly using in our Nino software. I did not use the ePod because it is not so fast and easy to handle. We have here more possibilities. Otherwise, it isn't a good help if you do not use your own application software at your working place. So you see here different high extending clouds, so roughly less than minus 60 degrees cloud top temperature, and it is passing here also Madeira, and so again and again rain and some thunderstorms, but not so many. It was more or less heavy rain and shower. I did consider only a few thunderstorms during this time period. So, and then let's jump a little bit to the air mass composite, because there is an interesting detail. Again, here the geopotential in 300 hectopascal, and then here the air mass RGB as we use it here in our Nino software. And what you can see there is relatively interesting when we go forward, that we can see here some areas of relatively high potential vorticity to be seen by violet or purple areas. And so when we now consider here this situation, you see in higher potential vorticity and like a comma development onset. Yeah, here you can see it here. And again, yeah, here much better. Yeah. So, and here you have the trough here, also an own center here in 300 hectopascal, a low center, and then here in vorticity maximum. You can see it here by the purple color, and then you have here like a comma, a vorticity maximum, and so that is a relatively interesting feature here. And now here the comma is well developed, and near behind here is the vorticity maximum. So that is very interesting, that you can consider only by using the air mass RGB the dynamical processes here above the Atlantic Ocean. Of course, you can also use a model, but I think that is a nice experience, a nice example for using the air mass RGB. By the way, yeah, here you see again a vorticity maximum, and here some convection. That is one of the best products what you can use, the air mass RGB. I like it very, very much. So the air mass, now we have seen the dynamical processes, but now we have here also the air mass. Unfortunately, I was not able here to cover the western parts of the Atlantic with the specific humidity. The numbers contain the breakable water content, and the layer is a specific humidity. Here you can see the legend, but what can we see here is from the model, by the way, is that we have a very high value of breakable water content. So the air is very humid. There were a lot of precipitation, and in Madeira, there were precipitation amount measured of about 100 millimeter per day. So it was relatively heavy. During our holiday, we had a heavy rain during 3 hours, and it was also very heavy and windy. That was mid of April. So it is a relatively changeable period what we had over a longer time. So when I continue here or go forward, you can see that the warm and humid air is approaching to Madeira. Madeira is here, by the way, and you see here relatively high vapor to water contents. That is yeah, almost rather seldomly here possible in Middle Europe. So there's another air mass, and you have also a lot of yeah, specific humidity, 14, 15 grams per kilogram air a particle parcel, and that is really a lot. So, and then you see again even that more specific humidity is approaching. I was not able to evaluate this, but the model is not totally wrong, I think. So that is a good hint which air mass is approaching there. So, what is also interesting is the gusts, I think, what we could consider. The gusts and the mean wind here taken from the model, because the measurements showed only for the Azores a gust of up to 60 knots and average or mean wind speed in 10 meters height of about 35 knots. Over Madeira and Canarian Islands, more or less not interesting has been measured at the surface observation systems, and so I decided to take here the results from the model. So the VABs are the wind speed in 1000 hectopascal pressure level, and the colored areas is are the gusts here from the model. And here on the right side, you see the legion. For example, the orange one is, I think, Beaufort 8 or so. Yeah. Therefore, here the coloring. Here you have Beaufort 12, 11, 10, and so on. So then let's go through it, and you see again, yeah, that Madeira has been hidden, and you see also a little bit here the comma structure, yeah, here also from the model, and here, for example, 45 knots gusts are calculated from the model, and we must know that the yeah, resolution is not so high. That also more could have been possible in some areas, some places. So that is what I would like to show to you for Madeira, and I think I should now come to the next topic, and that is the yeah, Indian. Here's India, and the hurricane. Yeah, I have forgotten the name. It became a hurricane sometimes in between, and I would like first to show to you this already. What was the development that is taken from the ECMWF? I strongly hope that you can read it, because it is not possible you make it bigger, because when I take the next one, that is small again. Here, India, Arabian Sea, and here is the starting point. Here you see the pressure. What was at the beginning 975 degrees, the wind speed here in knots, yeah, and here that is and here is the categorization, and here is a tropical system. Here is a hurricane level number 1, and then hurricane intensities 2, you can see it here, and 3 was very seldomly achieved, and yet you can here see also the gusts, the wind speed estimated here from the measurements and from the model. And what can be seen is that the forecast is relatively difficult. It is jumping. Sometimes it is moving very fast here to the central India, and the next forecast it is again jump back. But what we can see is here more or less as a slow movement, and then on the yeah, so around the 16th, it hit it here the coast, and then the hurricane weakened. So, and so that is from the ECMWMF, and on this page you can see this. Now, what we have here is the pressure tendency, and let's see what here. So, yeah, okay. So, and then also here the surface pressure, sorry, taken from the ECMWMF model, and you can see here the yeah, the topical system, and then sometimes in between also the visible channel, and it was for a short time possible to see the eye of the hurricane, and I jumped through it. It is in relative slow weakening, but now it is becoming stronger and stronger. And so up to 945 hectopascal, that was the maximum intensity. But what we cannot see, or very difficult to be seen, is the eye of this hurricane. What you can see also here is here the gravity waves, what we can see relatively often near an hurricane. And yeah, nobody will fly there, that is clear. So, but it's better to take the infrared enhanced, and you see very high temperatures, cloud top temperatures, and I can even go through it, yeah, and you see, yeah, it's relatively slow movement, and less than minus 70 degrees. We can also take another color table, and here the red areas is below minus 80 degrees even, yeah, also near the max minimum what is can be covered by Meteosat second generation, what is also in India available, yeah. So, but it is not here, you see a very high wind speed, yeah, of course, but it was not so interesting. The highest gust what has been measured was about 50 knots, because yeah, we have only a few observation stations, and also the precipitation was very high, but I have to use for this the model for calculating or estimating the precipitation amount within 6 hours. Yeah, by the way, I'm not quite sure if that is really correct, but it isn't. I thought also in elsewhere that so roughly 200, 300 millimeters per 6 hours were calculated by also different models. That is here from the ECMWMF global model. So, and you see more than 300 within 6 hours, yeah, falling to the water. So it's not so difficult. And then now hitting here the coast, and there was a lot of damages. And you see also for longer time, heavy precipitation, also after passing for a long time over the land. So, good. I think that is here a short introduction to this. And I would like now to come to the last point, Europe. But first of all, the present situation here over Italy, what I have received from Dominic, I interpreted this here, yeah, as a little bit dust, especially here. You can see it. I do not know where the summer school happens, but I have received here 2 images from Dominic. The first one was taken here yesterday, and you see here the sun, yeah, and also yeah, the dust is not a clear sky. Today, a second image was taken by Dominic, and here you see, yeah, blue sky. Also, there's a big difference here between these 2 situations. I have received this information about 1 hour before, so it's relatively brief, but you can see here some dust, yeah, is very good visible, and here also some cirrus clouds. But I do not see anything here from the surface observations, and so I think that is difficult. Yeah, here. Yeah, nee, sorry, yeah, I was wrong. Yeah. So, yeah, is nothing to be seen from the surface observations. But you can see it here. It's here is haze, for example. I think, yeah, yes, no, but not more. So, yes, if you have to complete something or add something, some of you at summer school, please do that afterwards. We can return to this image, or you can also share a screen and can add some interesting results about this. Yeah, I did only consider here the convection near Middle Europe. So, therefore, I would like to jump back now here to our convection here in Middle Europe and to Eastern Europe. And I have now concentrated upon the time period 20th of June till next Sunday. And what you can see here in red, that is again, here's a geopotential in 300 hectopascal, and then here surface pressure, and the increment between the isoline surface pressure is 2 hectopascal. So if we can see more details, one is a little bit too crowded. I therefore have taken now 2 hectopascal increment. And then we can see yesterday first surface trough approach here, and here especially to northern Germany, and then later on we have here also a new surface low pressure pier extending from the southwest here to the northeast, and here's this weak trough to be seen that triggered also the convection. We had also here in Hesche some convection. So, and that is from today morning, where heavy thunderstorms happened also here in southern Germany. That is already a forecast because I prepared these images this morning, and we consider now how it continues. We have still on Thursday here in Germany, difficult situation, low pressure, and so and then the low is passing Germany, and now yeah, moving to the east here over Poland already, and then further to the northeast. At the end of the time period, it is here over Eastern Europe, and we have a change of here the air mass. Here's a trough in the high level, and then it will become a little bit colder, more stable, and not so hot. Yeah, it is a relatively good weather on Saturday. So, something again, the air mass again. So here Germany, France, and here Eastern Europe from yesterday morning, and here's a specific humidity again up to about so 13, 14 gram per kilogram, and then here's a precipitable water content almost 40 millimeters. And so we see here also a relative dangerous situation today morning, more in the northern parts, but then you can see that here yesterday evening, especially over northern Germany, we had here very high precipitable water and also a lot of humidity in the air part, in the air mass. And so sometimes in between it became a little bit better this morning, but now on Thursday it will become very dangerous here, especially for Bavaria, and here also here for yeah, southeastern Europe here, Croatia, and here yeah, Austria, Hungary. That is really dramatic, and so we should be, or you should be very careful. And then here it over Germany, it is passing to the northeast, a very dangerous situation. Yeah, and then on Friday it is over Eastern Europe and continuing moving, whereas here over Central Europe is more stable and the danger is over. So we have also a relatively strong wind shear here the wind shear between or within the lowest kilometer is written in number. I hope you can read it. And here the areas is between 0 and 6 kilometers, also taken from the model. I did not consider a few radio soundings because that gives you a better overview. And again, we had here, especially here over southern France and central France and the western parts of Germany, again, relatively high wind shear. And also in the lowest part of the atmosphere, in so about 10 units. And again on Friday, yeah, we have high wind shear, especially over France and then towards central Germany. So that is dramatic here. And sorry, that was too fast. Oh, sorry, I'm a little bit confused now. So now I have here the theta A in 850 hectopascal and the surface pressure. And you see again here, especially on Thursday, yeah, the high numbers here over Bavaria. So let's go a little bit here to the satellite images. So that is here now the image from Tuesday around 0 UTC. And we have here cloud top temperatures of about less than minus 60 degrees. And so this moved yesterday further. And I have also here added some lightning detection. And we can see here over southern parts of Hesse some heavy some thunderstorms and lightning detection. And that is moved continuously and then weakened till the next morning. But the lightning continued during the entire day. And then it came in short break. And then from west, the next system comes here. And that was more dramatic here with many thunderstorms and very low temperatures, cloud top temperatures. And here is becoming even supercell, and here a new development here, flanking line. And you see also very well here the right moving of the system here against the general streaming in the higher air levels. So then here the same for the radar. Das geht so nicht. Sorry. So on Wednesday, Thursday, Tuesday, sorry, we have here high reflectivity again, and here from France is coming a new system, and you can see sometimes a bow formed here, for example. So a hint of also for strong gusts, and then this morning heavy thunderstorms over parts of southern Germany. Yeah? Severe storms is not so helpful. That is my feeling. First, because it is only visible during the daytime, and then you have sometimes you can see here some strong updrafts, especially here when you have small area, a yellow dot is high upward motion here, for example, and then you can here, when you consider the sandwich to this, you have some results here of included strong upward motion areas or locations. But sometimes it's also extending relatively wide area, and so the additional information is sometimes not so big in relation to the infrared image. But what you can see sometimes, I will jump here now to the 17th. So this is the next, not the 17th, here again, developments here over southern Germany. And what you can see here again is here the right movement here on this area. So that is the sandwich product, the new development, and sometimes also here an overshooting. Yeah, and here you can see how it is left moving, right moving, sorry, or here you can see it also, yeah, very nicely. Here in this case, here is the center, yeah, and here's the overshooting area, and then here you can see the extension to the southeast here in contradiction to the general stream, what is going from southwest to northeast. Yeah, so that is very nicely to be seen. So that is a very short jump. What could be interesting for you is also to see, yeah, what can be expected this today and tomorrow, and that it would be the final part here of my presentation. And what you can see here is the ensemble forecast here of see if I can also have here the legend. Yeah, here is it. No? Okay, we can also use it here. That is here for Wednesday, but let's that is the present situation, of course. What we have here from the model, when I compare this here with the measurement near the surface, then I am rather sure that is some partly correct. So, and here this one. Okay. Yeah, you see for 51 knots, 73. That is yeah, a mountain, not so high, Klippenegg, but it relates relatively good here to the forecast here that is given in meters per second. So we can also consider, yeah, for example, the probabilities here for severe gusts or storms, gusts, that is more for 11. And then we consider now here what will happen here during the Wednesday, on Thursday, and especially on Thursday, it is relatively high here. So there is a probability of 65% to have gusts of more than 25%. When I take here the percentile, yeah, you have here gusts of more than 30 meters per second are possible. That means, yeah, up to for 12. And we can also here consider the reflectivity, and that is sometimes also relatively high here, about up to 50 dBz. Yeah. For example, here that was a heavy thunderstorm this morning. I think more than 70, 50, and here the present situation, the lightning is fitting very, very well, but it's also only in a 3-hour forecast, of course. Yeah. So, and then on Thursday, it is becoming again very heavy. Yeah. So, okay. Yeah, again, very high. No? So, and continuing further on Friday here to Eastern Europe, and yeah, then yeah, over Poland to Romania Friday and Saturday.